What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Yusuf Al-Saned, and today, guys, I want to review Jean-Francois Richet's 2016 action crime thriller, Bloodfather, starring Mel Gibson, Erin Moriarty, William H. Macy, and Diego Luna. And guys, this movie right here is the comeback film for Mel Gibson. Now, Mel Gibson has starred in two other films right before this one of which is called Get the Gringo, and the other is directed by Jodie Foster, which is The Beaver, both of which I like, but they really didn't show Mel Gibson doing much besides, in Get the Gringo he was being the usual crazy fun Mel Gibson, and The Beaver is more of a redemption film for Mel Gibson. This one right here is both of those combined. The basic plot to Bloodfather, it's about this young girl who's played by Erin Moriarty, whose name is Lydia Link, and Lydia is hanging around with the Mexican cartel, one of who is the ringleader, her boyfriend, played by Diego Luna. And Diego Luna plays Johan. He is the nephew of this Mexican cartel drug lord, and Lydia is in deep trouble. She's had so many years of being away from her father, and how she's got into drugs. She's been part of a gang, and how she had to do a lot of things that is horrible, and that is not something her father would be proud of. And she has been through so much, and she's obviously traumatized, and so her only option now is to seek the help from her father, who she wants some money from. But her father, who's played by Mel Gibson, is John Link, and John, who hasn't seen his daughter in a long time, and basically he's trying to get clean as he is a recovering alcoholic, and his sponsor, who's played by William H. Macy, learns about John giving his daughter shelter, and he begs him not to get into this problem that she's in, and try to call the police or take her to a hospital where she may get some help. But John knows that the kind of problem she's in, it's a lot bigger than any of them, especially when her boyfriend, who she shot, is part of the Mexican cartel. This movie is a redemption story for John Link, but it's also a story about Lydia finding a way to mature, and her learning about her flaws, and learning the fact that not everything is dark as it seems, and that she can get clean, and she is still so young, and she has her whole life ahead of her, and she learns to get clean, mature, while John finds his own form of redemption, as he hasn't spent any years with his daughter since she was born, and a lot of the things she's gone through is because of him, her abandoning her and not being there for her. And what's interesting is that John is actually an ex-con, obviously, but he's also part of the Aryan Brotherhood, these neo-Nazi gangs, and John has past history with them, and he has done all sorts of things that is just, wow, it's just heinous, and so this kind of role is very perfect for Mel Gibson. Now, guys, Mel Gibson hasn't been cast in any big mainstream action movies or just movies in general because of his reputation in the media. Guys, I really don't care about that crap, because I love Mel Gibson. And I was so heartbroken when he wasn't able to star in any movies. But seeing him in this film reminds me why I love him so much in the Mad Max trilogy, the Lethal Weapon series, and Braveheart, obviously, one of my favorite movies of all time. The Passion of the Christ, which he directed and wrote, and that movie is just so phenomenal. It's a really amazing story on the life of Jesus Christ, the last hours before his death. And he also made Apocalypto. Mel Gibson has had a history of making and directing great movies, and starring in some of them as well. But because of his past racist remarks, he wasn't able to make any movies since then. But seeing him in Bloodfather really reminded me why I love him so much as an actor, and then why I really hope he makes more movies like this. And guys, I swear to God, I was never pumped to see an action movie like this in a very long time, especially the fact it stars Mel Gibson. My blood was pumping, my body was boiling, literally. There are action moments in the movie, especially when Mel Gibson goes totally crazy. He starts talking crap to the Mexican cartel who are after his daughter. And what's funny is that usually in an action movie, you have the hero like Bruce Willis who does talk, crap to the bad guys. But Mel Gibson does it in a way that's so crazy, so outlandish, and just hilarious to watch. And Mel Gibson was a blast to see in this movie. And I also really love his daughter, who is played by Erin Moriarty, and she's an actress I've seen in the show on Netflix, Jessica Jones. I really like her in that show. But Erin is able to play her character. She makes her very sweet, very cute, and she has a lot of problems, sure, but she's also a very vulnerable, broken girl who loves her father to death. And not once does she ever abandon him, nor does John abandon her. These two are like, a team, and throughout the movie, they outlast every single one of the Mexican cartel, including this one hitman who is so scary, guys. This hitman is known in Mexico as a sicario, which is a Mexican hitman, and this guy was scary, guys. He was frightening, he was intimidating, and I really was scared for both Lydia and John. And this movie is just so thrilling to watch, guys. I mean, every performances, especially by Mel Gibson and Erin Moriarty, are great. And I also love William H. Macy as John's sponsor. He's a really sweet guy who does want to see John get better, and William H. Macy doesn't hold back. If John can talk crap and use language, so can he. And I just love these two in their banters, And Diego Luna, oh my God, guys, I love Diego Luna. He and Gael Garcia Bernal, those are two of the finest Mexican actors who I have a huge crush on. And I also love the fact that in this movie, Mel Gibson is just so crazy. I mean, he's so out there, and yet there's a human side to him, a human side that I haven't seen from Mel Gibson in a long time. This movie isn't so much an action movie as it is a crime thriller with crazy action sequences, and Mel Gibson gives the best performance of his life. Guys, this movie is a true comeback story for Mel Gibson. This film was written by Peter Gregg, who also served as one of the producers of the movie. He is known for writing novels about parent and child relationships in a very dark comic fashion. And this movie was also co-written by Andrea Berloff, who wrote such movies like World Trade Center by Oliver Stone and Straight Outta Compton. And those movies were great. I love those movies, especially Straight Outta Compton. But this film right here, guys, is not your typical action movie. If you see the commercial, they are marketing it as an action film that is all Mel Gibson going crazy like in the Lethal Weapon series. But this movie has so much heart. Guys, I am someone who hopes, and I hope to God to be a father someday. I hope someday to have my own little baby girl. I mean, a son is okay, but I want a baby girl so bad. $10 million if I have to, trust me. Besides the father-daughter relationship, which I love to death, and besides the action, the drama, and the insane dark humor in the movie, this movie is just so well directed. The writing is crazy with the dialogue, the banters between Mel Gibson as John and the Mexican cartel, and his chemistry with his daughter and William H. Macy. It's also great, and guys, I highly recommend this movie. Jean-Francois Richet is a great director, and I haven't seen his past movies, but I really hope to. Guys, please do watch Bloodfather. I highly recommend it. It's a movie that you will have a great time watching. And thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy my review. And if you want to see more from me, then please like, comment, subscribe, and please check out my gaming channel where I do Let's Play series and gaming content, all that kind of good stuff. Until next time, guys, peace out, take care, adios, amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.